All right, so this knife thoughts video is going to be on this knife, and this is the Great Eastern Cutlery number H30 fixed blade. This is one of Great Eastern Cutlery's hunter knives. They've got several different versions of this same pattern. They've got a larger one with about a 4.5 inch blade, and then they have a smaller one also. But this is in the middle with about a 4-inch blade. And as you can see, it's a really classic design. It has a straight handle and then a guard that comes both up above and down below the handle. The guard does taper below the handle, and then it has a really classic clip point blade shape with a cut swedge here on both sides. And again, just kind of a really classic clip point with a tip that sits almost in line with the spine at the start of the blade, but a little bit below because of the clipped area, and then a pretty good belly and then some straight section here. Now, this is in 1095 steel, despite being a GEC branded knife and having the acorn. Sometimes being a GEC branded knife and having the acorn shield means that it is in stainless steel, but not in this case. So it is in 1095. It will rust if you leave it wet or put it in its sheath wet and things like that. So you just have to make sure you wipe it off when you're done using it and oil it every now and then. This is a user for me, but haven't used it a whole lot. It is, in my opinion, not the most practical design. I don't love having the guard that sits up above the handle, because when you're holding it here, it kind of goes into your thumb like so, or you hold it like this. But when do you actually use a knife like that? I mean, maybe if you were fighting, but even then, and I certainly am not carrying this as a self-defense knife. So I don't really love the design from a practical standpoint. The guard I think is nice down here, but again up here it just seems unnecessary. There's also a pretty good amount of unused space here, so you have about a 1/2 inch or so that you don't have that edge for no real reason. I mean, maybe there is some production reason for that, but from a practical kind of design standpoint, I don't think that there's a great reason to have this unused area here where there's not an edge, other than it makes it so they can put the stamp on. So that's probably why, so that they can stamp the blade like it is Great Eastern Cutlery, Titusville, PA on one side, and Carbon H30 119, which means that it's the H30 model, it has a clip point, and it was made in 2019. The handle itself, I actually really like the look of. This is what they call their Woodland Micarta. It's very similar to what they've called Cougar Clawed Micarta before, if I remember correctly. And basically what it is it's muslin micarta, what they call muslin micarta, which is a linen type micarta that has these grooves cut into it and then darkened within the grooves. So I think it looks really good as a handle material. It also feels pretty good in the hand. So I really do like the handle quite a bit. I just am not hugely into this guard. Another thing that I really like about the knife is the sheath. This is the sheath that comes with the knife. You can see it is stamped Great Eastern Cutlery on the back. But the main thing here is that it has these really cool oak leaves and acorns tooled into the front. And it gives it a really nice look. It gives it a much more finished look, I would say, than if it didn't have that. Now it does use a button. So, on a leather sheath, it is nice to have that button so that it's going to hold your knife in, even if you're, I don't know, running through the forest or something like that. But I do like the sheath a lot on this knife. I think it adds to the value. Now, these were made in 2019, so they are kind of hard to find. I have seen them sometimes available since 2019, but here in 2021, like any GEC, they're relatively difficult to find. But it seems like Great Eastern Cutlery is making more fixed blades right now or very soon. So that's part of why I wanted to do this video, is that if you are looking for a Great Eastern Cutlery fixed blade, it might be worth reaching out to whatever dealers you use, or all of the dealers, and seeing if they are going to be getting any of the upcoming fixed blades so that you can snag one. I enjoy this for the historicity of it, that it's a very classic design, even though it's maybe not my not a design that I consider to be the most practical. It's a design that certainly works and has worked for a long time and is very good looking. So again, if you are looking for a Great Eastern Cutlery fixed blade, I would definitely reach out to dealers and see if you can grab one from the current or upcoming run, depending on which it actually is, because it's a very classic knife. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have enjoyed getting to check out this knife. If you have, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you know when I post new videos. Also check out my social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Knife Thoughts, and my website knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife related topics. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.